Okay, we have a couple problems here to review multiplying rational numbers. The first one here, two fractions, one's negative, one's positive. So that rule stays the same. If you multiply two numbers and one's negative, one's positive, your result is going to be negative. Okay. A lot of confusion with multiplying fractions because we've got that cross multiplication deal that we use somewhere else, and I actually don't really like that. Try to avoid it because of this situation, because a lot of students try to cross multiply when they see fractions multiplied, which is not what you want to do. You actually want to multiply straight across. And you want to say, well, I've got a negative and positive, so I want to make sure that my answer is negative. You can either write it down as negative and then ignore the negative sign in the original part of the problem, or you can multiply that negative sign through with one of the numbers in the first fraction, 2/5. Okay, and I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to put the negative sign with the 2 and say negative 2 times 6 is negative 12 over 5 times 7, and 5 times 7 is 35. So I have negative 12 over 35, which is just negative 12 35ths, and it actually wasn't bad written the way it was. Okay, so that one cannot reduce because nothing comes out of both 12 and 35. Okay, so negative 12 35ths. And let's move into an evaluation one. It says if m is negative 2/3, n is 1/2, p is 3 3/4, negative 3 3/4. Solve this equation, n squared times the sum m plus 2. Okay, so we're just going to sub in what n squared is, and that's 1/2. Put it in parentheses and square it, and then my other parentheses here, m is negative 2/3 plus 2. Okay, inside parentheses first. So I still have, I guess I could have squared that at the same time. We'll leave it for a second. I need to change this 2 into something that has a third as a denominator. Well, 3 is the denominator, so it has to be 6/3 in order to do that. I'm going to write that down right here, 6/3. We need common denominators in order to add or subtract. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4 over 3, 4/3. Okay, and then evaluate the exponent. So 1/2 squared. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. So when you square a fraction, you square its numerator, then you square its denominator. Okay, so we have 1/4 times 4/3. Okay. Now you can either multiply straight across, or if you notice that there's something that can cancel numerator to denominator, this 4 cancels, becomes a 1. With this 4, when it's a 1. So 1 times 1 in the numerator is 1. 1 times 3 is 3 in the denominator. 1/3 is our answer. Okay, and let's look at one more, a little bit more with mixed fractions. Okay. So we have negative 3 and 1/5 times negative 7 and 1/2. Notice that both numbers are negative, so we should end up with a positive answer in the end. Okay, let's rewrite this. Mixed fractions are great for understanding where the number is or what the number actually is. They don't do us a lot of good with multiplication or addition for that matter. Well, addition's a little bit easier, but so let's change these to impropers. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16 fifths, and that's negative, times 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15 halves. That's also negative. Okay, this is multiplication because they're both in parentheses next to each other, so we multiply straight across, or cancel, if you'd like to do that. And that will actually make this one a lot easier. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I actually end up with negative 8 times negative 3, which is positive 2024.